I'm Jacob Kirchen, and I am an international sales specialist here at Hightest Technology. Today we're going to be going over the Pha-Tura-03, which is our three-phase turn ratio tester, and we're going to be demonstrating all its various tests today. To show you a little bit about what the device comes with when you purchase it, it comes with our grounding cable, our power cable, our H and X testing cables, both 5 meters each in length, alongside its extension cords, which are each 10 meters each, the tap changers set, 2 pieces of thermal printing paper, and a USB that comes with our DMP software so that you can test and analyze the results on your PC, along with the user manual and the bag it comes along with. Continuing on with the Pha-Tura-03 device, here we can see our power connection, our ground connector, emergency turn-off button, which can be pressed at any time, our power button here, which doubles as a back button, our 7-inch touchscreen, our printer, our PC connection here via USB, so that you can connect right into your computer and use our DMP software to analyze your results, our H and X connectors here, our tap changer, and our fuse. Continuing onward with our Pha-Tura-03 demonstration, we are going to be going through test settings. Here you can see test frequency, which you can switch between 50 and 60. For a template to create a fast, quick test, click New. You can name it, and from here set the primary, secondary, and vector number, as well as the voltage, for your quick tests. Moving onward, we have our comparator, which we can set to active or passive. This is dependent upon the pass-fail criteria, which will tell you whether your test failed or passed based on the stability of the test within the percentage we set here. For example, we have 0.5, but we can set it to 1%, 2%, or higher. From here, you can also put in the user information and the default transformer information. Continuing onward with our test of the Pha-Tura-03, we are going to go through a single-phase test. To start, please click Ratio Test, and then click Single Phase from the options. Here you can switch and change the primary voltage by selecting here, the secondary, and the test voltage from our pre-selected options from 1 to 250. We will be selecting 4. You can also select Remove Label to reset these options. Selecting Test, you can see our transformer that we are using for the purposes of this demonstration. After it is done conducting the test, you can see here it shows phase, ratio, percentage, excitation current, and phase differential. If you would like to test again, you can click here if the results maybe weren't correct because of a cable mismatch. Here you can input your user information for the company, station, and operator, manufacturer, model, serial number, and then from here choose to save memory or print or both. We're going to print. It's a small test, so the sheet is very small. And afterward, we can save the information here. And we're all done. Continuing onward with the Pha-Tura-03 demonstration, we are going to be performing a 3-phase test. Please click on Ratio Test and then 3-phase for power transformers. Here you can see the primary, secondary, and vector number. You can switch the primary, the secondary, and the vector number according to your transformer label. Now, what you'll see here is a question mark. This question mark, unlike the Pha-Tura-01, is here, or in comparison to our competitors, because the Pha-Tura-03 can automatically detect the vector number of your transformer without you needing to decipher it. As you can see here, and this is a good time to show and demonstrate our transformer we're using for the purposes of this demonstration. You see our cable set up here. Perfect. Okay. DYN 11. Okay. After you're done configuring this and using the automatic vector group detection feature, click Next. You change it here again. Here we can also change the voltage. We're going to set it to 40. And you can also change the tab count. So if you have more than one tab, you can change it here. For the purposes of this test, we will be having one tab, although you can change it to 5 or whatever number of tabs you have. Okay, switching forward, if we have multiple tabs, we can switch tab here and then change the primary, secondary, and test voltage for that tab. However, because we have one, we will not. Moving onward, we can either tab up and down to test all the tabs at once, or to test them individually. Again, we have one tab, so we do not need to do this. Click Test. As you can see here, we have our first phase that is done with this test. Automatically, it will go into the second phase for testing, and then it will go into the third phase. In comparison to the Pha-Tura-01, where you have to switch cables, this is all done automatically, and as you can see in real time, it is extremely quick. Give it 1 second. See, extremely quick. So based on the criteria for the test settings that we set earlier, it passed all of that criteria from the comparator. You can see the first phase, second phase, and third phase here, the ratio, percentage, fluctuation, excitation current, and phase differential. If you want to test again, you can click here. Moving onward, you can set your user information for the company, station, and operator. You can see we have this for the manufacturer, model, serial, and power as well. And from here, you can either print result, save it, or both, just as a single phase tests works as well. Here you can see the ratio, current, and error margin here. And when you're done with that, and you're all done. For our last demonstration, we are going to be performing a magnetic balance test. Please click Ratio Test and then Magnetic Balance Test. Here we can see the connection type. We have phase-to-phase. A reminder to connect your H1, H2, H3, X1, X2, and H3 to your transformer. Our test voltage always change from 1 volt to 250. And then we click Test. We have our same 3-phase connection with all of our cables to our demonstration transformer. Give it a second to test. Okay, as you can see here, we have our balance status for our test results. Here you can see it's between H1 and H2, we have 22.3 milliamps. And then for H2 and H3, we have 17.2, and H3 to H1, 21.1 milliamps. Now, if you would like to display this within a percentage as opposed to voltage, like we have here, please click here, and now we will see the percentage for the balance test. You can select Test again here if you would like, and you can enter the same information as you can for all of our tests. Let's click Print. And then afterward you can save. It displays the same H1, H2, H2, H3, and H3, H1 balance test and the current associated with it. When you're done, click Save. And you're done. Finally, we are going to go over our records. This is where we store all of the information from the tests previously done with the single-phase, 3-phase, magnetic balance test, or any quick tests. Here, we're going to select our 3-phase test. You can see the record information from what we entered earlier. The actual test results from what we got from the first phase, second phase, and third phase. And the results that we can print, delete, or save to USB, which we have connected here. Now, one interesting thing is, if your transformer is still set up and still connected from the Tura device to the actual transformer, you can select to test again, if, again, that connection is still available. If not, you can do from the selected options here. Continuing onward, one small side note I would like to say is that in our records section, if you have a test that was canceled while being conducted or shortened, here you will find that test result if you saved it. Same information as last time. As you can see, we did not continue, or I should say finish the second or third phase of our three-phase test. So as a result, you can still print, delete, or save to USB, but most importantly, we can continue here. So we can continue the test just as we left off. Perfect, we have our second phase. And as you're about to see, we have our third phase here. Once you're done, just as you would perform any three-phase test, it brings you to the same options and settings to save, print, or save to USB.